What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the H-Town Rundown. This is your boy AD, and I got my co-hosts in the building, Auntie Swan and Mike G. What up? How's everybody? Good Friday.
It's very good. How y'all doing?
I'm good.
It's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful
refreshing
day.
my drink over here.
Oh Lord, last time Tuesday she was refreshing too much. We got real sidetracked on Tuesday, but yeah, the Houston Texans have a game on Sunday against the New England Patriots in New England. I'm trying to think of the last time we won in New England.
We have not. For the record, we have never won in New England.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First time for everything.
Mm-hmm. So, hold on.
What does it say?
Again,
That's what I'm talking about.
Never. But no. Sorry, y'all. We started a little late. We got caught up in some college football talk.
And we didn't want to
SEC.
bore y'all.
Huh?
We didn't want to bore them.
Oh no. Trust me, I ain't want to get on here. These TU fans start going crazy. But yeah, no, the Houston Texans play a game on Sunday and got some news, man, that came out. I think right after we went live, the next day on Tuesday. I think Wednesday we found out Nico Collins was out, 4 weeks at the minimum 4 weeks, with a hamstring injury. He left the game after the first quarter on Sunday, and he was out the rest of the game, and pulled that hamstring on that 67-yard touchdown pass he caught.
Yep.
And so we have to go forward for the next 4 weeks. The Houston Texans did make some moves. They brought in Tegan Quitoriano from the Bears practice squad. People also know him as Quentin Tarantino, TQ. And we also brought back Kadar Hallman, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He also was on this team last year, and we pulled him off of the, I think, Atlanta Falcons.
I thought it was the Ravens.
Ravens practice squad. That's right. I knew it was a bird. So we pulled him off of the Baltimore Ravens practice squad. Signed him to the 53. I honestly thought they were going to place Jimmy Ward on injury reserve. From reports, back channel reports, not Aaron Wilson. That Jimmy Ward went to the hospital. So during that game, when he went out the final time, he went to the hospital afterwards. So I was assuming that he would be placed on injury reserve as well, but they still keeping him on the active roster. We'll see how that extent of his groin injury is. It was good, y'all. Good for Mike G being on time. Yvonne say it's time for Jimmy Ward to retire.
You do know that we gave him a extension of additional years, so he's not going anywhere. That's D'Amico's son, and he ain't going nowhere. He's Alfred Blue.
D'Amico's Alfred.
He's D'Amico's Alfred Blue.
He's D'Amico's Alfred Blue. So let's roll it down. Bill O'Brien had two. He had Alfred Blue and Eric Murray.
Well, we inherited.
No. Let me say this: Eric Murray is. I don't know how Eric. I think Eric Murray has made it through 4 coaches. He made it. What? Didn't we sign him with Bill? We signed him with Bill O'Brien. He made it through Cully.
No, go back. No. Gotta go back. He made it through Rack.
He made it through Romeo Crennel. Bill O'Brien, Romeo Crennel. He made it through Cully. He made it through Lovie Smith, and now he's with
man. I'm telling you,
5 coaches.
That Negro got more. He got more than 5 lives because he's still here. But here's the thing: this season's the best season he's looked.
Yeah, because you know why? He looked good last year, and nobody wants to talk about it. But Eric Murray plays well when he's not the relying starter. When you're not asking Eric Murray to play the whole game as your starting safety for multiple games, he looks pretty damn good.
I mean, I don't know, pretty damn good.
When I say pretty, hold on.
I've looked at games. He is staying with receivers. I mean, everybody gets
He's
beat
holding
and
his own.
right behind, but I'm saying this: he is not the same liability that he used to be when he first got here, when we was still scratching our heads and everything.
Yeah. So, and
Y'all
that's
heard that, right? AD wants him to get a big extension.
Let me say this. Eric Murray, when I say he's playing pretty damn well, I'm not talking about as far as the standard of a top safety or top player. I'm saying strictly on Eric Murray standards.
The bar is set
Yeah,
so low.
if you basing it off of what we've seen in the past from Eric Murray, this year Eric Murray is playing pretty damn well based on his past. So we gotta acknowledge that. And then also we didn't mention on Tuesday. I think I mentioned it a little bit, but Dylan Horton is back. Dylan Horton is coming back from stage 4 cancer. I forgot which type of cancer.
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So, thank the Lord he has been,
has recovered,
put in remission, and is now able to play. Again, so and not miss a whole season. So I honestly thought he was going to be out this whole season. But shout out to Dylan Horton. Kurt Heinisch is on track to be back as well. And I'm trying to think of any other major injuries.
Kamari Lassiter is out.
Kamari Lassiter is out this game. I think he hurt it on that last play, trying to intercept the pass or break up the pass with Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
Yvonne said he's trash. He's inconsistent. Huh? Oh, he isn't. She's talking about
Eric Murray.
He isn't. Okay, that's what they say. He isn't. I'm sorry, Yvonne. I was reading.
Well, I mean, you can say it the same way. He isn't consistent, or he is inconsistent. It's the same thing.
He say isn't.
Right. He isn't consistent, and he is inconsistent. Is the same thing.
You know, I've been drinking. Stop that. that sounds like who's on first, who's on second kind of thing, and I got to stop and go like, huh? I know what I'm reading when she said. I'm with that.
So again, a big extension. Yeah, a 5-year, $5 million deal.
That's nasty work.
That's his big extension.
Okay.
But all in all, like you said, Kamari Lassiter. I'm trying to run down all the news of the day because we got big news. The biggest news of them all, man. Dameon Pierce is coming back. Damn, so you can't mess up the T's.
Pigeon toed.
Yeah, Howard and Tunsil are playing. They're both. I think those were minor injuries. Howard had a hamstring injury. He missed last week, but he is back this week. He's cleared to play. He's not questionable or anything on the injury report that came out today. And Tunsil, I think Tunsil just needed a rest day.
Yeah.
Question:
do you think Titus got miraculously healed after watching Fisher out there?
Fisher played.
I mean, motivation. I'm talking mentally. Yeah.
I don't think he's rushing back to try to save his spot or nothing like that.
Not save, but know that you know what your seat. You know.
But the thing about it is, I will say this because people kind of look over the fact that that doggone I keep forgetting his name, Blake Fisher.
Yeah.
Blake Fisher. Look who Blake Fisher played against. Because I asked y'all this Tuesday, I'm gonna ask y'all again. Who were the defensive ends of note that he played against?
Well, Greg Rousseau was very good for the Bills. Now, nobody else, but Rousseau's very good.
But even though you can say, well, who did he play against? Being that you're rookie, you're starting. We didn't call his name out enough to notice that Titus Howard wasn't out there.
Yeah, and
to me, as your first true start, that's good, especially for us.
Yeah, right. And I understand that. That's my point I'm trying to make is that this was kind of a perfect time to start Blake Fisher. as this was, if you look at the defensive line in total, this defensive line did not have Von Miller or Ed Oliver.
Right.
And you go from, to me, if you look at the other 4 teams outside of the Bills that we played, the Colts, you look at the Minnesota Vikings, you look at the Chicago Bears, and then you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can honestly say that the Buffalo Bills had the weakest defensive line that we've played this year.
Because of the injuries, I would say so, yes.
Yeah, right. And that's what I'm saying. It's a perfect time for Titus Howard to miss a game and for Blake Fisher to start.
Yeah.
Mind you, New England's defensive line is not much better.
Nope. They offensive line.
They lost the defensive tackle. What's his name?
Christian Barmore.
Yeah, Barmore. I was about to call him Paramore, but Barmore, they lost him. And so they're kind of thin. So this is going to be a test of, as the title says, this ain't no time for a letdown. But along with the other injuries, because I need to cap it off with the injuries, Joe Mixon is slated to return this game. So we are going to be, mind you, we're down a man in the receiver room.
Yeah.
But we're one step closer to being fully healthy. It's like you take one piece out and put one piece in. Joe Mixon comes back. To be honest, you have this is going to be probably since week 1 the first time your whole running back room is fully healthy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also forgot to mention, British Brooks got put on injury reserve as well. With the knee injury. So which is why Teagan was brought back.
And one other person is out on Sunday. Forgot about Bobby Trees. Did he hurt himself on that punt return? But he is out too.
They said he had a hairline fracture. Y'all gotta give my dad joke, man.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Bobby Trees. I mean, I was mostly joking in the previous show last week, but I was like, hey, a revenge game from Bobby Trees. But like, he had an important play that helped us win the game. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm assuming he hurt himself on that play.
Yeah, so maybe so.
No, I mean it's a back injury for Robert Woods that he played through this past week. That it was already reported that he had the injury. He just played through it. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it is a back injury. Somebody fact check me in the chat.
So he re-injured it in practice?
No, I think he got shot up before the game.
Oh.
And played through it. This should be a good game for John Mechie return. We will talk about that in a second. But what are y'all initial thoughts about the New England Patriots? And I wouldn't say this is a trap game, but I would say this can be a letdown game.
Yeah, I mean, it's any given Sunday. Anybody who's played in a NFL Survivor pool this weekend knows about the massive amount of chaos where you can't okay, this one's a layup. How do they lose? Like each week, over and over and over.
Yeah, the Bucks got me with the Broncos.
The Bucks. Thank you, New York Giants.
Yeah, they
keep winning. They winning games they're not supposed to. They're what, 2-3 right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Giants are the Raiders of the NFC.
Yeah.
They'll just pull games they have no business winning, but then lose games they had in the bag. But the Patriots, I mean, we can't let this be, our Vanderbilt, right? Like,
hold on, what is that referencing, Mike G? I'm curious.
Nothing. I mean,
what team was that happened to?
I mean, they're definitely not a team that's won several national titles.
No, I need to know. There are quite a few teams that won several. What team are we referring to?
I don't know. Can't let this be, our Vanderbilt. Obviously, they got rookie Drake May making his first career start. I mean, we can't let a guy who was named after a pedophile beat us. So that's
Come on. Nope. That's okay.
I make my eyes
That's how I get
smaller
up. That's
than
how I
that.
go. That's how I go off trail.
We're not supporting any of this beef that you said
Of course not. Of
because
course not.
because
We have
we've
not
already
picked a side. Of
we're
course
not.
not.
J. Cole already picked the side. Yeah.
Shout out to Cole.
J. Cole picked the side, and it wasn't on the Not Like Us, so I guess he's not like us either.
But no, the Patriots, I mean, they don't obviously have that much on paper. Ramondre Stevenson, their starting running back or backup running back. I don't know what his role is now. He was ruled out earlier today. Kendrick Bourne, one of their leading receivers, is questionable. And I don't think he's made his debut this season yet either. So, I mean, they got Jalen Polk, who I think is second rounder out of Washington. KJ Osborne. I mean, not a lot going for him.
Whole bunch of nobodies.
But we've seen.
They have Hunter Henry though.
Huh?
They do have Hunter Henry. But no, we saw Pierce from the Colts shred us like twice. So
Javon Baker as well.
Stingley has to be on his A game. He can't be caught sleeping back there, especially with Lassiter sidelined this week. But you're not really frightened by the Patriots offensive line or their playmakers on offense. Going to defense, Keon White, their second rounder from last year. He's got 4 sacks already, more than Danielle Hunter. So Danielle Hunter needs to step his game up. But it's more of a system thing with New England. Obviously, we've seen that for several years, dating back the Belichick days. But we just got to make sure this isn't a letdown game. Just come out there, control the clock with Mixon, finally get a healthy Mixon. Patriots run D isn't that great. So, we should be in a spot to capitalize and win comfortably. But that's why they play the game. Go on.
You play to win the game.
Yes. All right, Herm.
Speaking of Herm, I had a reference that I said on the Big Sarge podcast this morning where he had him and John Hickman, him and his co-hosts, which are the 2 co-hosts of the Locked On Texans podcast. Y'all go check those guys out every day on the daily. But yeah, him and Big Sarge, I have a reference about Herman, and I will bring that back in a second. Go ahead, Swan.
Okay. So for me, I don't have a concern. I don't think it's a trap game. The only reason I don't think it's a trap game is they truly understand what's ahead of them. You've been fortunate that you've squeaked by some wins last minute. Drake May is a rookie. We saw, and I'm just gonna be honest, I wouldn't say he is equal to Caleb, but I expect D'Amico to throw everything at that young man. Unfortunately for him, and fortunately for us, Drake May does not have the wide receivers or a tight end the same way that Caleb had. They don't have a defense the same way that Caleb has to keep a game close. If you pay now, I know they snuck up on the Bengals because they did, but the Bengals don't have a defense either.
Yeah, and they never played to start the season either.
So, and I interact with Patriot fans and so forth, and they're honest about their team, and I've watched games with them, but their O-line is truly ass.
But Swan, we've been saying that for the last 2 weeks. Swan,
no.
We've been saying it for like the whole season.
Yeah, but the Bills O-line was not
Swan, we said that about Jacksonville O-line. We said that about the Bears O-line. We said that.
Okay, but look at the pressure. But I'm saying that the difference was defense did their job. Offense, we didn't put up enough points.
I don't give a piss about it.
But the difference is everyone we played. No, but everyone we have played did have a defense. They were solid, good, or just extraordinary. This team doesn't have that. So my thing is that whether we start off slow and that's gonna be dictated on Bobby with let's go out there and run, because you know he is going to want to run with, especially Mixon wants to run because he got something to prove. I don't know if anybody watched his locker room thing.
I
Homeboy
was
is
what
pissed.
did he say, Swan? I was the number one leading
Well,
rusher
I'm
in
gonna say,
that
yeah, he said,
third.
"You think I don't want to be out there?"
For that damn hip drop tackle.
Yeah. So his thing is, I know he is looking to be out there to show, hey, that wasn't no fluke. So don't be getting mad when you see, goddamn it, let's see, you get what, I average 65 plays or whatever. If hell, goddamn it, 50 of them are mixing, just joking. So I like to go back to what I was saying. I'm not concerned about a trap game. I think they will win the game. Will it be a blowout? Should, but I ain't expecting it. We've never won there. I don't care if it was because of Belichick and Brady era. I'm still gonna just say until we do it, we do it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I see, what our team is that the defense has come a ways. Offense last week, O-line had less penalties. So if we can keep that up and you have Mixon, we should be able to put up points. I don't know if you're 30 plus we go get, but I know this could be your prediction later on.
You already know.
We should look better because I think without Nico, Bobby Asher is going to have to call a better game because now you're going to have to figure out who's going to be your number one now. Is it Diggs? Is it Tank? How do you incorporate Hutchinson and Mechie? So I expect Bobby to actually have a better game offensively because now he's actually got to think and put the shit together and you got to call it. So it's not a trap game. We're going to get it. I don't think they're looking too far ahead, looking at the Packers. We're going to take care of business.
Yeah. All right. Swan gave us a lot to talk about.
I'm always good. That's why you make me last.
But let me talk about Killer Cal, the resident Bobby defender. He's always trying to deflect away from Bobby to go to D'Amico, saying, "Let's hope D'Amico don't get boneheaded and just allow Drake May to get comfortable
Let me go
and get into a rhythm." Shout out Killer Cal, resident Bobby slug defender.
And Miko hater.
And Brandon said defense going to be 10 blitzes and one free safety. Let me address this one more time. Again, me as a fan, I demand perfection. I don't settle for less.
Wait, so we're not #committed to mediocrity?
Not committed to mediocrity. Shout out to my brother Chris Royal. I'm not committed to mediocrity. I saw this great movie one time, man, and it really brought it to light this morning when I was talking to Sarge and John on the Big Sarge Media podcast this morning. I made the statement about this guy on this movie who was portrayed by the great Denzel Washington. Played a character named Herman Boone.
Okay.
Now, Herman Boone brought back that team, brought them, segregation, brought them together, brought their team. That was one thing that he said in that movie. He said, "I demand perfection. We're going to be perfect in every aspect of the game." And I'm telling you right now, I'm that fan, and I demand perfection for the Houston Texans in every aspect of the game. That includes offense and Bobby Sloyd. So y'all can be committed to mediocrity, but me, myself, AD, as a Texan fan, with the team that we have and all the weapons on both sides of the football, I'm going to keep saying it, I demand perfection. I demand dominance. I demand I want us to sit atop the NFL when it comes towards the end of the season with a bye week so we can sit back and wait for somebody to come to our house in a divisional round. and not have to play it. I want to miss the wild card. Can we not play a wild card playoff game? I demand that we don't play a wild card playoff game, that we go straight to the divisional.
That'd be wonderful. I'm hoping for that.
I'm demanding perfection. So, um, that's all I wanted to say about that. But going into everything that's going on with this game with the New England Patriots, this is a game where honestly you could have sat Joe Mixon another week. You could have sat Damian Pierce another week. Nico Collins is out. Fine. You still got Diggs. You still got Tank. You still got John Mitch. You still got Hutchinson. You still got Dalton Schultz, Cade Stover. Still got an assortment of weapons to win the game. New England just won the game 15-12.
Yeah.
Was it 15-12 against the Miami Dolphins?
No, Miami won that game.
I mean Miami. No, I thought Miami.
No. Miami won. The Patriots are
15-10 or 15-12.
Yeah, they're 1-4.
Okay.
Their only win is the Bengals.
Okay. I'm okay. Either way, Miami's doo-doo too. They lost to the Titans. That's a shit stain you can't remove. But I'll say this again: they're 1-4, like Swan just said. They just lost to Miami and only scored 12 points.
Ass versus ass.
They lost to the Tyler Huntley-led Dolphins.
Lamar Light.
So I need to pull up New England's schedule. I need to see what their record. I mean, I know the record is 1-4, but I want to see what happened this season for them.
I mean, they gave
they
Seattle everything they
said. That's why they're playing their rookie now, because Brisket can't get it done.
So I understand that part that Drake. I'll be honest with you, Drake May should have started the season because he outperformed Brissett during the preseason.
They didn't want to get him hurt.
I think his thing is what they didn't. It's the concern that some people showed last year.
Okay.
When we had certain folks in the fan base that said to play Mills because you don't want to put our rookie out there behind it online. I know y'all recall those conversations, but really, they really don't have an O-line, and the concern they had was throwing him out there. They wanted to give him more time, and they was hoping that Brisket could hold it down. They knew it was going to take L's, but you at least look like you're like, damn, something is happening, and getting him like week 8, week 9 was what they were indicating Mayo wanted to do. However, when you play Miami and you're playing against Snoop Huntley, and you can't put up points, they put him out there.
Let me put it like this. So they beat the Bengals week 1, scoring 16 points. Okay. They lost week 2 to Seattle in overtime, scoring 20 points.
That's a good game.
They're averaging 18 points something, I think.
Yeah, they lost to New York on Thursday Night Football, scoring 3 points. They lost to the 49ers, scoring 13 points.
Yeah, it's 30-13.
They lost to the Miami Dolphins, scoring 10 points. They're not going to put the ball in the end zone. Okay? They're not going to do anything to, kind of screw it to make you nervous, make you feel nervous about this game. Offensively for New England, they're not going to do that. They don't have the weapons. Like Mike said earlier, Stevenson is out. They ruled him out. And I think you said another receiver of theirs is out.
Yeah, he's still questionable. He hasn't even made his debut. Kendrick Bourne. I mean, we're really shaking in our boots over Kendrick Bourne.
So the point I'm trying to make is that, Bobby, this is for you, Bobby. If you sit up here and you can't outscore a team, like Swan said, that is averaging, you said 18 points a game, but I don't see how when their highest total was 20 and the rest have been like 16, 13, 10, and 3. Yeah, I think it's less than that. It probably is in the 15 range. So you telling me
numbers again? 20?
Yeah, 20.
Mhm.
16, 3, 10, and 13. Nice when you got a calculator in front of you,
Uh-huh.
Swan.
Uh-huh. Of course, I got to help my guys out here.
What you got? What is it?
And they played 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh damn. 12.4.
So once again, this makes my case even better, Bobby. You playing a team that averages 12 points a game. If
What's
you sit up here and you don't score 20 points on this team,
this son of a bitch gonna score 19 points? Watch.
Bobby, you gotta go and take a look in the mirror, Bobby. What can you do? I said it Tuesday. This should allow Bobby Sloak to be more creative.
Mhm. Try some
Mhm.
new shit out, and if it don't work, guess what? It shouldn't cost you a game because if the what you try and experiment doesn't work, you still have 7 the rest of them. You go back to doing what you was doing and just win the game. But
So
oh, hold
again,
up, our defense may score more
come more
points than they
points than
offense.
offense.
Yeah, hey,
So that part, and then their backup receiver is Booty away, Butte.
Mhm.
Um, they do
Yeah,
have
that
other
is
things
true.
on the team.
the
Yeah,
only
they're so
only
bad. They
thing
had to bring in Michael Jordan's ass to
no,
play guard. That's how bad they are. So
So
but here's the
the-
thing, which is can be dangerous, and I put that on D'Amico and Burt. Brisket isn't pushing the ball down, wasn't, and that's just not his game.
yeah, but
You're
they didn't
bringing in
have
a
weapons to go
rookie,
down the field either.
but no, but I'm saying this, but you're bringing a rookie in who doesn't know what they should know and have nothing to lose and will be more willing to sling it. Now you got to figure out if some of the guys will be able to catch it and if our guys can defend it. But I don't expect Drake make to sit back there and be as Jacoby is conservative. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I expect them to take a shot.
mhm.
I secondary needs to be on top of it. Lassiter is not going to be there, so I'm really going to need the other guys to step up because Stingley going to be Stingley. We've got to truly put him on his ass. I
Mm.
understand the pressure, but I need to put him on his ass. I need to rock his confidence very early. I need him to know it's gonna be a long ass day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know that D'Amico doesn't really like to mix things up with blitz packages, which I think
He did it with Caleb. And
right.
I'm saying a rookie, because that's the best way to beat a rookie is to do that. And he doesn't have the receivers that technically Caleb had to even attempt to bail him out.
Right.
So that to me leads him to make more mistakes where you should have some tip balls, maybe some balls that go
Why
out of
you come on,
bounds,
why you had to say that like that?
tipped balls.
Why you had to say balls? Why you had to say it like that?
Pause.
Oh.
Um,
I don't. I'll say again. I never need to pause.
no,
Never.
no, but AD said it. So,
Oh, oh, okay. But I did want to go back to something you said, AD, if you don't mind. You said this is the game we should sit Mixon again another week. We could
I
sit
said, yeah,
Damien
we
another week,
could,
and
yeah.
possibly who did you mention else? We could
Mhm.
possibly sit. But my concern
yes.
is, and I saw someone mention this on the timeline. I disagree with that, and here's the reason why. These guys have not. Well, they ain't played all year yet, right? I remember seeing him. Mixon hasn't played really since week 2, kind
Right.
of. These guys are rusty. You got to get you acclimated to playing in the offense again. So, what is a better time to do it than this game? Because the next game with the Packers is not where you want to shake the rust off.
Well, I will say this: the Packers are not as advertised because they're dealing
Mm,
with
They
a
had
lot of
injuries. No, they've had injuries. It's not
they've
because
had
they're black.
injuries. Hold on. Also, they're dealing with an internal issue with Dobbs, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Dobbs or
Yeah. Well, he wasn't doing anything. That's why he mad. No, it's Reed.
oh, Romeo Dobbs.
Reed.
Yeah.
yeah?
No. Yeah, but he what? Well, he's having issues because basically him in the offense. But Jaden Reed is real.
Mm. Yeah, Jaden Reed's legit.
So all of that being said,
Mm-hmm.
once again,
Mm-hmm.
we should this game, regardless of who's playing, which is to be honest with you, which I think is why Kamara is sitting this week.
Yes.
Um, I think most of these guys that are sitting outside of Jimmy Ward would be able to play this week if it was a playoff game or something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, not Nico, but yeah.
yeah, right. That's one. Yeah, because Nico, I mean, on the active roster.
Right.
Is this game should be? We said it a get right game against Jacksonville. This should be a get right game again to get back to the level like that. You're going to have this offense right now as currently constructed. This is going to be your offense the next 4 to 6 weeks. This will be your offense. A healthy Joe Mixon, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, Dalton Schultz, Xavier Hutchinson, John Mechie, Damian Pierce, Kay Stover. This is your offense. The next 4 to 6 weeks without Nico Collins. So you have to, open it up. Open up the playbook. Be creative. Find ways to get Tank open. You don't have the security blanket of Nico Collins anymore. Nico Collins was a security blanket for Bobby last year. He was a security blanket these first 5 weeks.
Yeah, leading the NFL in receiving by quite a bit.
But you know what I think it is? Bobby can't count past two. I think that's what it is. Because as long as he had two wide receivers,
Yeah.
we at least seen them be, showcase. He got an extra one, and he's like, okay, well, I don't know what to do. I got a third leg over here. What is this thing here? So
Yeah. So, and I agree. So I don't want to make this a Bobby episode because I know people are sick and tired of hearing the question about Bobby, but it's a big understatement. It's not an understatement. I think it's a misguided, misconstrued argument, a conversation about Bobby Sloyd. I think people are taking the headlines and not reading the article. You get these fans that say, "Oh, you got this section of fans that want Bobby fired," or this section of fans, blaming Bobby for the whole offense and this and that, and not reading in the article when nobody ever said in the article that they wanted Bobby fired. Nobody, said that Bobby Sloak is the sole purpose of this offense being bad. Is he a main contributor? Yes. The offensive line is a contributor as well, even though they're dealing with injuries and not having the continuity. Cam Akers has a responsibility put on him since Joe Mixon has been out, as well, part of the problem. So there are a lot of things, but we talk about it week to week, and we see it on the film, and we call it out on the film as well. But this game should be a game where Bobby Sloyd asserts himself and his offense, and they assert dominance the whole game. New England is not a team that's going to. They have a decent defense, but their defense is not impenetrable. Their defense is not unworldly. Their defense is nowhere near the toughest defense you face this year or will face the rest of the year. You look at the teams you've played. Minnesota has a vastly better defense. You look at the Bears. The Bears have a vastly better defense than the Patriots. You look at Jacksonville, they have an okay defense. Uh, I
I'm
said
sorry.
no,
What did you
no
say? Wait a
English,
minute. What did you say? Their defense wasn't. It wasn't
huh?
in what?
Impenetrable. Pause.
Really?
um. So it's all of those things. That I keep saying this is you gotta dominate, you gotta assert your dominance. We can talk about the matchups. It's really not much to talk about. It's really about what we can do to them. Somebody said in the chat, I think it was Brandon, said in the chat earlier, Jabril Peppers is out. They're
Yep.
one of their best defense.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, the
Well, I'm saying
Kraft
he's one
don't
of
play
their
that.
right, but I'm saying he's one of their best defensive players. I'm just speaking
Mm-hmm.
on people being out, not necessarily what he did or what happened. Is that they're going to be without him on Sunday? He was placed on the commissioner's exempt list for whatever reason. I'm not really want to go into it because this ain't a New England Patriots podcast. This is a Houston Texans podcast. So they're going to be without one of their best defensive players. They already lost. We said it earlier. What's his name? Defensive tackle
Baltimore.
Darmore. They've
Mm-hmm.
already lost him. Um, they don't have a stout defense, but they have a great scheme with Gerard Mayo, who
Yep.
knows how to dial them up.
Christian Watson. I mean, I'm sorry, Christian Gonzalez is back there.
Right.
So I mean, that's one of their. So
Swan,
he's gonna be becoming somebody. What I'm saying.
I understand he becoming somebody, Swan, but I'm at this point in time, he can't be in three places at one time. So it's if you want to put him on Tank, fine. If you want to put him on Diggs, fine. This gonna be the Tank Dell game. This gonna be the Stephon Diggs game. This gonna be the John Mitchell game. This gonna be the Xavier Hutchinson game. This could be the Dalton Schultz game. We don't know, but I know just like we said before, with all these other teams, you don't have enough to stop us all.
Yeah.
So you can have a Christian Gonzalez. Yes, he's going to be effective, but he's only one person, and there's far and few in between. I think you said Keon White
Mm-hmm.
is another great young player that they have on defense, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Their team is bare bones at this point. They're rebuilding.
Yeah. They're us a couple years ago.
Yeah, New England just drafted number 3 overall. So they're rebuilding at this point. You should go in. You should not have a letdown like you did against Carolina. You should not have a letdown like you did against Atlanta last year. Like all of these things, this should be a turning point in rectifying past mistakes, in rectifying past tendencies that were detrimental.
This is an opportunity to prove that we can win more than one score. This is an opportunity to prove we don't have to have our entire fan base on eggshells, breathing through a paper bag the entire time. Like we can just put the game away in the first half.
Yeah. We don't have to rely.
We shouldn't have to rely. We're not play down to the competition.
Yeah, don't play down to the competition. You shouldn't have to rely on Kaimi Fairbairn to save you.
He should only be kicking extra points on Sunday. Let's just be honest.
Nah, he can kick one.
No. His thing is,
he can kick one.
He can kick one.
No, I said shouldn't. I didn't say he wouldn't.
But I'm saying he should let him kick one.
No, I'll be honest with you. Technically, I'm just gonna be honest. We shouldn't even have to see Tommy Townsend on Sunday.
Just let him kick one, Swan.
No, he got his AFC. He got his AFC special team player of the week.
So we're not asking for much. Just let him kick one. Just it can be a little 30-yard. Just let him kick. Just a little pooch. Just right there.
If he kick a 30-yard, I'm gonna be mad because that means that we was in the red zone and we did not convert. If he kicking at 30,
you're not gonna be mad at Kaimi. Who you gonna be mad at, Swan? Bebo Lottie, we know that the name is Bobby.
I'm gonna park my car over there on the side of Kirby, that entrance. I'm looking for him.
But all in all, man, like we can talk about the matchups and everything, but honestly, I said it before, there's really no matchups to really talk about. I just want to talk about expectations. One of my main expectations is for Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. to get their heads out their ass. You can be the top pressure getter all you want to, but I just watched the game last night in in Seattle, when the San Francisco 49ers played the Seattle Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe, what's his name? Nick Bosa? Is it Nick
Yeah.
Bosa in San Francisco? Nick
Mm-hmm.
Bosa was a man child.
That's his first game that he's been a man child.
But Swan, I'm telling you this right now. What you seen from Nick Bosa, you seen that more often than what you have seen the opposite.
After he signed that contract, he has.
But no, I'm just saying over his career, you've
Right.
seen that Nick Bosa way more than you've seen the other side of Nick Bosa. And my thing is that type of game is waiting in the wings for Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. I need y'all.
And I do believe that is going to happen
We
tomorrow.
we said that last week, Swan.
No, 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 no,
We
no.
said that the week before.
Okay, no,
We said that
uh-uh.
against Jacksonville. Like we've been begging
No.
for.
We said we
Hold on,
want to see that.
Swan. We've been begging every week for Daniil, and those have been our bold predictions every week that Will Anderson or Daniil Hunter is gonna have a 2 or 3 sack game and whoopty whoopty whoop.
Okay, so
And let me say this. My
are you
biggest
talking about a
fear.
piece? Are you talking about they should have 2 and 3 a piece?
That was a bold prediction, right?
Okay.
So that's what has been said these past few weeks, and it's been like a consistent past. Like somebody on this panel has brought up either Daniil Hunter or Will Anderson being a game wrecker, doing something magical in the game, and that has yet to happen outside of the Bears game. So my point being is that I need to see dominance on that defensive line, like Tim Settle, Mario Edwards Jr., who is going to play, who was only missed practice today for personal reasons, so he is going to play. Um, Foley, Fadakowski, who's that? Khalil Davis. All of these
Mm-hmm.
defensive tackles have been playing way above their standards of what they've normally put on tape, whereas our defensive ends have been playing below their standards. Man, I'm gonna say this. My biggest fear is for everybody to be hyped about Will Anderson and everything like that. Well, last year Will Anderson had 7 sacks. Okay.
Okay.
And right now he has 1.5 or 2.5 sacks this year.
And you know they come in
Um,
bunches.
I understand they can come in bunches, but I'm telling you right now, my biggest fear is that at the end of the year, Will Anderson has 7 sacks again.
I actually think he's gonna hit double digits.
That's what we all hope, Swan. But we 5 games in, and he got 2.5. And if my math is mathing, that's just a half a sack a game.
Okay, but
And
that would be the same as saying, okay, because I looked at CJ's numbers. Okay, the last couple of games he has had 1 touchdown.
That's a good point too, Killer.
So don't say if you look at his touchdowns, because there was a discussion regarding Jaden Daniels that I was having with some other folks earlier, and looking at CJ is like, oh dang, he has not had a game where he's had 3+ touchdowns throwing.
Yeah, but
anything like that. But I know, but the thing is, I know it's gonna happen. But right now, it's like you kind of The reason I say that is to get to 10 and you got 2.5, and there was 11 games left, or including this game, 11 games left.
Hold on. Didn't see in that Bucks game, how many touchdowns did CJ throw in that Bucks game?
No, I'm talking about this year.
I mean, just in general, because people.
No. His game last year, he threw 5 touchdowns in the Bucks game. No, last year he had multiple games where he had 3 or more. Mm-hmm. I'm saying this year he has not had that game where he's thrown multiple 3 or more. It's been 2, 1, kind of thing. So my thing is that I know CJ is going to have that 3-4 touchdown game. It's going to happen. I don't have any doubts. The same way I don't have any doubts about Will. Where we sit.
Well, let me clarify a little bit better.
Okay.
I'm not saying that they're not good players. Because the Neil and Will are great players, and I think some people have given the sentiment that maybe it's the wide nine scheme on why they're lacking the results. But once again, I referenced this game last week. They played a little wide nine, um, and they were dominant. So it's just the fact of I understand the pressures, I understand the stats, I understand all of that, but I had this concern. I said it the last week or so that pre-draft. Everybody was hyping up the 100 and something pressures that Will Anderson had compared to the sacks. He had that one great sack season, and you look a little deeper, and it's like, and I made those jokes about Shannon Sharp with Will Anderson that he may need to take that pill, so that he can finish. Um, it's just the point of we need to see results because at the end of the day, a pressure is a pressure, but a pressure also can lead to a touchdown for that offense. Because
But
you can
most
say,
cases,
so let me finish my example. So
okay.
you can say that on a Kenyon Coleman touchdown last week, that we pressured Josh Allen, that it was a quarterback pressure, but
Uh-huh.
he ended up scoring a touchdown.
But that wasn't
And
because
so,
okay. So let's be
but
honest.
Swan, let me get to my point because I
Okay.
understand. Like I'm not trying to nickel like analyze it
No, but
directly.
no, I just want I
It's
just have
just the point. It's just the point that you know the pressures like that stat can be deceiving.
it wasn't
Is what I'm
deceiving.
saying. No, 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 no. It can be deceiving. The reason why the point I'm trying to make is that we know for a fact a sack is a negative play. A sack is an end play, meaning that the play is over with. There's no debate on what happened during that play. If he was sacked, it's a negative play.
Mhm.
He's down. You lose a down. That's the end of it.
Right. But
It,
the
it
other
can't it can't be deciphered any other way.
no, but I'm saying
It
is
can't it can't be it can't be oh you sacked them but they scored or you sacked them but they got a first down. Oh you sacked them but this and that. Oh you
but you
sacked
can.
them.
But you
How?
can. Okay. I'm
How?
glad you asked.
How
So
son? How can a sack result in a first down?
no, you said it the touchdown thing or whatever. No. Yes, you can
I'm
have
talking about pressures
no, hold
then.
up. No. You can have loss in yardage. You can have a loss and down if you want to put it that way. We have seen
That's
no,
what
hold
I
up.
want to see, Brandon,
No,
because now you're countering my argument and I
no
can
such
rock with that.
no, hold up.
I
But
can rock with that.
well, I'm going to get to that what Brandon was talking about. Pressures do make a difference because pressures can cause you to make mistakes and throw picks. So it can work that way. And I'll go back to the one example you gave. The pressure worked. The secondary didn't wrap up. It was bad tackling because had you wrapped up, they would not have converted the first down.
Hmm.
No, look where he was. Go back and look where he was when he caught it. And look how we were asked in tackling. So it does. And we've seen that. And that's a complaint we all have. Your angles are bad. You don't wrap up at times. But as far as the pressures, if you're getting pressure on a quarterback, it can work because I'm gonna catch you slipping if you got a good defense. So I would rather keep pressuring than not getting it home at all.
I gotta hold on.
Somebody
If
said
we
something.
Yeah, we would have sacked instead of pressuring Sam Darnold, they wouldn't have scored 34 points. That's a good point as well.
No, let
Um,
me see. No, hold up. Let me see. Make sure I understand it. So, how about if we hadn't had single coverage and
so
not had our best DB on him? So when you pressure, he had an easy outlet. It goes hand in hand. I can give you some
So let
pressure.
me say this. I got an analogy, and it's a basketball analogy, and then we can move on after this because I don't want to stay on this topic too long. I want to go into the score prediction, and
Okay.
we want to do our NFL rapid fire. Um, you remember the Houston Rockets when they had James Harden and they had that philosophy about shooting 3-pointers. Eventually, it's gonna work out. Eventually, we're gonna do. It can work out and get you to the playoffs and do this and that. And but guess what happened when it mattered? When it mattered, you needed to knock it down, but you kept missing, and then you kept shooting, and you kept missing,
But see, I can
and
go
you
the
kept
other way.
shooting,
But I can
and you
say,
kept missing.
right. But
And at the
I
end
can
of the
even
day,
say
and
twice.
it's one at the end of the day,
Hmm.
that was the deciding factor because you can
But
say if they went 0 for 27
hmm
against the Warriors, you can say if they just hit two of those threes, if they go 2 for 27, they can win the game.
see,
And I can say this right now. If you sit up here and you pressure Drake May 27 times, if you get 2 sacks, it may win you the game. It may affect the game in a positive way.
or
That's all I'm saying.
maybe those
But
two
Swan,
pressures turn into pick
but
six.
Swan, what did I just say? What did I just say, Swan? What is my motto? What is my person that I'm modeling my this season after?
I have
Herman
no
Boone.
idea.
Herman Boone. Herman Boone, and I'm demanding perfection. I'm demanding that
Pressures are part of
pressure pressures
defense.
ain't
That is
perfect.
part of your pass rush.
Pressure is not perfection. Let's and
No,
it's
no, no. Hold
and
up.
hold on because I said I didn't want to keep going and going. But let's be honest, Will Anderson is not a pass rusher. That's point blank period. He's a defensive end. He's a pretty damn good defensive end. I wouldn't even say he's more than pretty damn good. He's damn good defensive end, but he's not a pass rusher. In the sense that he does not have a multitude of pass rush moves in his bag. He does not have that. That's not a hyperbole. That's not an outlandish statement. That is a
No.
fact. Will Anderson has maybe 2 to 3 moves in pass rushing to
I can
get to the quarterback.
let
Hold
me
on.
say this real quick, and then
And
if you don't
then
mind, we
I
can
say
move on.
having a pressure is like I almost won a lottery. I was
Yeah.
one number
Okay.
away.
I guess let me say this real quick. Or let me say this. I don't know about how quickly it is. It is not his fault that we gave up the picks. And I think that's what maybe for me, I'm saying me,
That
what
ain't
I
got nothing to
find
do with it.
irritating. And I try to control myself with this because of what we gave up to draft him. Somehow we need for him to justify doing it. He's not going to justify it. He's not going to live up to the extra amount of picks that we gave up. And the reason why I feel like it's a sense of hypocrisy when it comes to Will Anderson, and I'm just going to say it, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We family, so offline we can do this. We'll come back and love each other again. This the same shit with JD Clowney being picked number 1 overall. A whole bunch of folks was slurping over the nigga. Oh, we don't want to count. We all focused on sets. Do we not see what JD does? He's a disruptor. That's the favorite word of the damn fan base. He was a disruptor. And the little things that he does and blah, 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 blah. We wanted him to come back here. Many folks wanted him to come back here because of those little things and the pressures and all of that. JD didn't have no repertoire either. Repertoire
Yeah, and I
at all.
understand,
But
and I'm agreeing with that part.
I feel Will is getting this because of the
So,
capital we spent to get him. But
so
we didn't. So that's what I'm saying. I guess that's why I have an issue that the folks was okay with JD doing what he was doing. And he was the number 1 overall pick.
that's a good one. Hard to disrupt from the hour. He's
Excuse
talking
me.
about Clowney. He was talking about Clowney. It's hard
No,
to
but I'm
be a
saying
disruptor.
is that
So,
we wanted Clowney back for the things that we're seeing Will do. I think we really are, whether we want to admit it or not, subconsciously thinking of, because y'all mentioned the other night, oh, could we have had a Sam Laporta? Could we have had what's
Yeah,
his
that
name?
was just a
Gibb?
question. That was just a question on Twitter.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah,
okay. But I'm
Sam
saying this,
Laporta.
but that is where we are. Let's just keep it 100. We're thinking about what we gave up to get him.
I mean, but that's, to me,
But that's not
something.
his fault.
It's not his fault, but that's something that him as a player, he had like.
No.
But let me finish. As a player, like, you have to block that out, but that's going to be with you forever. Just like if you were picked number 1 overall, and Bryce Young was picked number 1 overall, and he never has a successful season, they are always going to tie that trade up to get number 1 with Bryce Young. We could have had this, we could have had Caleb, we could have had this, and that, but we traded it off for Bryce Young. Like, that's going to that's sports. To me, that's sports. That's what it is. And my point is that, yeah, I mentioned Will Anderson and his pass rush moves, but I'm meaning to talk about both players, because Will Anderson is just one piece of this. We gave this man $49 million, $50 million to give us 1.5 sacks so far. And I'm talking about Danielle Hunter.
Right.
So Will Anderson is just in his second year. He has time to show and prove that he can be dominant and take over games and stuff like that. But as far as Danielle Hunter, like, I have an issue with Danielle Hunter as well. That's why I'm saying both of them, not just one, both of them. Danielle Hunter was paid $49 million to come here and be that 16.5 sack guy that he was in Minnesota.
Along with a guy who is suspended right now, because what you were putting together.
Swan, I'm not. This is the thing. He didn't have the Nico Autry there in Minnesota last year.
Who did
he have in
Minnesota?
Who did he have in Minnesota? Can you name me who else was on that Minnesota defensive line last year? My point. That's the point.
As far as the household names, as the household per se names, I can't at this moment. But I understand what Flores did as a defense. With that defense,
you're negating the point, because I just mentioned right before I start talking about the defensive ends that the defensive tackles have really outperformed themselves and outperformed their standards. If anything, because you can say it both ways. You can say that the defensive tackles are playing better because of Danielle and Will, and you can also flip it and say that, the defensive tackles are playing well because of Danielle and Will being lackluster. It's excuses. What he said, our DEs need to get to the QB. Is something that's my point. Get to the at the end of the day, you're playing a wide 9, and D'Amico tells you as a defensive end, just get to the quarterback. I don't care about you reading, reacting. I don't care. I don't need you to do this and that in the run game. Even though you do it, that's great. But my whole sole purpose to put you out in that wide ass 9 is for you to get to the quarterback. And right now, Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. have not been doing that. That's an issue for me, because this is the defensive rookie of the year, and this is a guy who just came off a Pro Bowl. So these two players should be, and we said it before in the Jags game. The Jags had 2 of the worst tackles in the league. 2 of the worst.
Yeah.
And they barely sniffed Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
Yes, Jacksonville got the ball out of his hands, but at the end of the day, they barely sniffed Trevor Lawrence in that game against 2 of the worst tackles in the league. So my point is not trying to shit on these guys and not trying to shit on our players. And I hate when we having these conversations, people take it as if I'm shitting on them. I'm expecting more. I'm expecting greatness. You tell me Will Anderson is great, and then he's not putting up great numbers. He's not putting up great film. Like, it's times you damn near forget. What's up, Ricky? Y'all go check out Ricky's article on the HTimeRundown.org that was just posted today about college football tomorrow. Y'all be sure to check him out. Yeah, I know we need to ask super chats. He said too many excuses. These aren't children. Hunter had 16 and a half sacks last year. No excuse. That's my point.
Okay,
My
excuse me.
point
Hold up,
was
hold
going.
up,
Hold
hold
on.
up,
Let
hold
me
up.
finish my.
No,
Let me.
no, no, because that came
Hold
at
on.
me. No, that came at me. So I'm gonna say it. I'm not making no motherfucking excuses. Okay,
Okay.
I'm just assessing how I see it.
And I understand that.
I'm not talking to you.
I
I mean,
know.
I'll be good. I'm just saying the comment. I'm not making an excuse. I am saying I feel as though if he was not drafted where he was, and if we had not given up what we had given up, sorry, I don't think we would be feeling the same way.
So and I understand that, but it's what
Can
you're
we acknowledge that?
like that's and I've already acknowledged it that that's a part of football. Like that's going to happen. But what I'm saying is that the reason why they're making these comments is not so much directed at you, is that your sentiments that you're making and those comments that you're making
Mm-hmm.
are part of a fan of a part of the section of a fan base
Yes, I
that
understand.
that feel the same way. And what
Right.
we're saying is that you pay a guy, 49 and a half million, $50 million to produce. And then, and people want to say stats are misleading, this, and that. And what baffles me is that, oh, all you worried about is a sat stat. But then you go back and you pull out a damn pressure stat to combat whatever. And I'm like, it's a stat war. And I'm like, at the end of the day, we watched the all 22. We talk about Henry Toa and Aziz Al Shair and hell, even
Balling.
Foley Falikowski and
Uh-huh.
Jalen Petrie and Derek. We talk about everybody on that defense that is going crazy. And I'm telling you, we can roll it back to Tuesday, and I can count on one hand how many times we mentioned Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. I don't
If
even
you
think we
no,
mentioned.
but I'm saying
Hold
this.
on, hold on, one. I don't even think we mentioned Daniil Hunter on Tuesday. But once
No,
again,
and if you want to, I have a problem with putting a lot on Daniil Hunter because you're a vet, and not just last year, in last 3 years or so plus, he has been double digit
hold on.
sack guy.
Let me.
So wait a minute, hold up. Let me read this real quick.
This is
Hunter had
funny to
more
me.
sacks last year, partially
This is
because
funny
he
to
had
me because what
more
did I say,
touchdowns,
Mike, before we drafted Will Anderson? Well,
He
attempts per
gets so many
sack.
sacks off of stunts.
and he's what unblocked, right?
Unblocked. Yeah, hellified unblocked.
He's a Hall of Famer when he's unblocked. So you're not, but like this is the thing when
Like I
you
said, this.
have. Hold on. So Big B say, "No, those are excuses."
Video. This
Huh?
I expect
I
him to do
love
better.
Will.
I guess
I can't hear you. You
I
breaking up
just
a
have
little
an
bit.
issue with because it seems hypocritical
So this is my thing
that
because.
praise Clowney for the same thing. I guess that's why I'm trying to understand.
Mm-hmm. So this is the thing. Um, I keep saying, me as a fan, I'm going to be critical of this team because I think this team is a Super Bowl caliber team. So me being critical of the small, minute details, like a Super Bowl team doesn't let that just fly by. Oh, we'll get right at the end. Oh, we'll get it together here. We'll fix that later on. We'll worry about that later on. No, you nip it in the bud at the moment. And that's my whole point, is that these are issues that can cascade into bigger problems. Okay, that's my whole point about bringing it up and having this argument back and forth about it. It's not a defensive I'm right or whatever. I'm just acknowledging what I see because I said, and like I just said, and you like we getting too much about Will Anderson. The comment is for both of them as a tandem. They came into this league as a tandem. Like when you see Daniil Hunter, a guy who just had 16 and a half sacks, you see Will Anderson, who just won Defensive Rookie of the Year. You come into this season and all eyes are on you guys to perform because now you're saying, damn, they got the Defensive Rookie of the Year and they got a Pro Bowl on the other side. Man, it's going to be hell on the quarterbacks. It's going to be whatever. And we're not getting that. And that's my issue, because at the end of the day, we're putting too much pressure on our franchise. And when I say our franchise, I'm talking about CJ. And my thing is, the defense has been very, very good this year. Damn good this year. Okay.
Mhm.
They've held, I said it last night with Ruben and Harley and Stressens. The Texans have, not last night, Wednesday night, I'm sorry. The Texans have only allowed one 200-yard passer this whole season. And that was week 1 against Anthony Richardson, who only had 234. So the defense has been excellent. The defense has been excellent. But at the end of the day, I want to be dominant. I don't want to be in the game where we were like, yes, the defense was dominant. If the defense was as dominant as we expected to be with Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter wreaking havoc, it doesn't come last week doesn't happen with a 59-yard field goal to win the game. We win the game. We win the game regardless.
Or we flip it the other way, because technically speaking, other than the Minnesota and the
that was
Colts
not
game,
I said Hunter Anderson.
well, we gave up 27 and 34 points. The defense has made the stops.
Yeah, and
needed to.
Right,
the
and that goes back to the point.
Offense is not putting up the points. So now
that's a whole different. That's a whole different topic that we've been discussing. But that's been a topic we've been discussing. Like, what I'm saying is that each piece has its own part of accountability.
We nitpick because they're all pro players.
Yeah. Right. And that's my point, is that, like, you don't have glaring issues, but you do need to address the smaller ones. Because if you don't have one big glaring issue on this team,
which is good. That's good.
Right. You don't have one big glaring issue on this team, but you have a whole bunch of little tiny ones. And if you just put them all together, that's one big glaring issue. So once again, I keep saying it, I'm gonna keep repeating it. People may take that as why you just can't be happy. I'm not going, and I'm being honest with y'all. Killer Cal said this was not aimed at you, Swan. I said Hunter Anderson is the best DN. He's played opposite of. We need more than pressures. He was kind of talking towards Daniil. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You know when I'm gonna be a truly in blissful happiness fan?
Mm-hmm.
When we have that damn parade in downtown for the Texans win the Super Bowl and the city is shut down for a week and a half. That's when I'm gonna be in blissful happiness for my team.
That's the ultimate, but I'm sorry.
If I get
the AFC Championship game, I'm gonna be blissfully happy.
But Swan, but that's the difference. That's what I said in my tweet a month ago. That's not my, and when I speak, Swan, I'm speaking for AD and AD on
me too.
And I understand that, but that's what I'm saying, Swan. We different.
If I've never been there before, how can I not be blissfully happy to get somewhere I've never been?
Look,
I'm just asking.
Look, Swan, I ain't never had $1 million.
Huh?
I ain't never had $1 million at one time.
Okay, but if you got $500,000 right now,
but if you put $1 million in my pocket, I'm gonna be blissfully happy.
Okay, let me ask this question. You've never had $500,000, and let's say you're shooting for that $1 million. I'm
not gonna be blissfully happy with $500,000. I'm not.
Okay.
I told you we different.
You're gonna tell me? Oh, hold up.
I'm not. Because one
call and say, guess what? I got $500,000.
Swan, let me peel back the what they call it, the cover. Let me pull back the cover a little bit. I work in finance. $500,000 is not gonna change my life, and I'm just being honest with you. So I'm not going to be blissfully happy on that, and I'm just being honest. So that's what I'm saying. Like, things, when I make these analogies, I make these points. Like, I'm not going to be truly blissfully happy until the Texans are shooting up that Super Bowl Sunday that night with all the confetti, and it's blue, white, and red. It's battle red. Is Liberty white, and it's deep steel blue confetti blowing all in the wind, and Stephon Diggs is doing goddamn confetti angels on the field, like that's when I'm gonna be blissfully happy because my team that I've seen a Rocket championship. I've seen an Astros World Series championship. I have not seen an NFL team in Houston win a
but you,
Super Bowl.
right. But here's the
That's
thing.
when I'm gonna be blissfully happy.
But here's the thing is
Hold on,
that
I say
would
AB
you?
want the 500
I'm not. I
million
mean, just
pound
for the
phone.
record, disclaimer for who don't know, um, I'm not a Rockets fan,
Mhm.
so I really have no
Right, but
connection with that.
you've
No,
seen the
no, hold up,
Lakers,
hold up, hold
you've
up.
seen the
No,
Lakers
hold up. I've
championship.
seen no, no. I'm a Lakers fan. For those who don't know, so I've seen 10, 11, 5, 5. Yeah, I've seen at least 10. I have to think
Yeah,
about it. Uh, so I understand the ultimate goal and the ultimate satisfaction. Let's go to Mike G and see what he thinks. Okay, I'm with you. You got it.
oh man, that DJ Waller, man. Shout out DJ Waller, man.
So yes,
So
Mike
at the
G.
end of the day, Mike don't want to talk about this. Mike want to go to
No, not this. I'm just saying is back to the
Mike.
Patriots.
You be happy with the AFC Championship game, or you want the Super Bowl?
I want the Super Bowl.
No,
Okay.
we okay. It's
Would
not
I
I
be
want the
pleased
Super
that we
Bowl.
get there? Yeah, but like let's bury the Chiefs.
Yeah. So
Okay, what I'm saying is, would you be the moment if you make it? We're in the playoffs. Remember, AD said earlier, can we have a bye week? Can we make folks come to our crib? Is that what you not said, right?
Swan, I said
Yes or no? That's just yes
that's
or no answer.
that's Swan. That's expected. That's
No,
expected.
no. Okay, if you've never done it, how's it expected? You can hope for that, but how can you expect something? It's
Look,
not the norm for us.
Swan. A lot of things don't happen, but you expect it every year. I say this all the time. The one speech that every head coach in the NFL gives is we're coming here to win the Super Bowl. I came here to coach y'all to win the Super Bowl. That's a resounding sentiment
But everything
amongst
has steps, a
the
process.
Swan. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what them head coaches say. They don't say it's steps to it, guys. We may not get
It
to,
is.
but Swan, I'm telling you, I'm not disagreeing on that. I'm not disagreeing that it may take some time or it takes levels to it, whatever. I'm telling you that coaches don't coach their players or promote their player or not promote, but they don't speak to their players with a sense of it's okay not to be great or it's okay not to get to the Super Bowl. They don't preach that in the locker room. That's my whole point.
Where did I say that I'm advocating for that?
Swan, but that's the sentiment is that you're
No,
saying
my sentiment is I always say enjoy the ride. I want the ultimate goal. I want the Super Bowl. Before any of you were born, I was wanting one. I've had my heart broken
right.
a couple of
Yeah.
times
So
being almost there. So do I want it? Yes, I want to see it before I want to see it and enjoy it while I still can move around and go to a parade, go celebrate. I want it more than you think. But I also understand that this was a team that was ass, and we've turned this around in one season after signing a head coach, drafting a quarterback, and building his team. Do I want it? Yes, but I've never even sniffed the chance at one because all I have been is one and done. One and done.
So Swan, let me say this because we desperately need to get to the picks.
I said that Mike G go earlier.
This is the end all is that's like that's my point. I'm not trying to sway you away from your point. I'm just telling you what for me. And I understand you're saying that for you. But when we get into an argument, it comes off as that somebody's trying to be right.
Oh no.
And then my thing is this. I'm okay because I know where you stand because we've had this argument before. This isn't a new argument. We had this argument week 1, if I'm not mistaken, or before the season started. We had this argument. So it's just the point of this. I'm explaining not just to you, Swan, but I'm explaining to everybody that watches this podcast or follows me or follows the H Town Rundown on social media, is that AD has a expectation up here, and AD is going to keep his expectation up here, and AD is not going to lower it, or be bullied. Not talking about you, Swan. I'm just talking about the you know who I'm talking about, Swan. Not going to be bullied or not going to be talked down to or about, because my expectation is up here and yours is down here. So going back to my parents demanded A's and B. Well, they ain't even want no B's. They demanded A's. If I brought home a B, they looked at me crazy. So it's like, what happened? Why you made a B? And then it wasn't even no crazy B. It was an 89. So it was like, it's just the point of having expectations for your team, for your children, whatever. They fall short, they fall short. But your expectations are still set at a certain point. You're not going to lower your expectations in that sense. So my point is, me personally, my expectations are my expectations, and the Texans need to get their act together because I need them to win the Super Bowl. Mike G, what is your prediction for this game?
Oh, that's right. We do have a game this weekend.
Yeah.
I got the look. Anybody can lose to any team. We see it in college football. We see it in the NFL every week. But the Patriots do not have the firepower on offense, and they do not have the hellified playmakers on defense either. I got the Texans finally getting over that 30-point hurdle. Texans 31, Patriots 10.
Ooh, Mike G giving them 10 points.
Yeah, they'll throw up something to Baker or Thornton on a go route and probably make a catch. So,
Swan, what is your prediction?
My prediction is 28-12.
How they get the 12, Swan? All field
is it four field goals or 6 safeties?
No, actually, I have 4 field goals. I really do.
All right, so Swan has the Texans. Y'all already know where it's going for me. I don't even know why it's a question. Let's look at Brandon. Brandon says he has 38-3 with 1 Fairbairn field goal.
Yeah, that's right. You gave him one. Give him one.
Brandon was listening. Brandon was listening.
Just one. Just
see, Brandon was listening.
I'm not asking for much. Just 1 field goal. That's yeah, I like that number that you had, Brandon. But I'm gonna do one better. I said it early in the season. I expected a 40 burger. This is a 40 burger type of game. I have the Texans winning 41, and I'm gonna be nice because it's gonna be a little Davis Mills action in the fourth quarter. I give it 41-15.
So Fairbairn getting 2 field goals.
Yeah, he gonna get 2. Let him get 2.
Okay.
Get a little extra one. Killer Cal said 45-12, 28-3 and
Oh, no. Killer Cal, I need to change that halftime score right now.
Frank Z say triple meat, triple cheese.
wait, whoa.
He talking about 40 burger. He talking about
what?
He said triple meat, not to stop there. I'm like, whoa, wait,
yeah, he talking about the 40 burger. That's what the 40 burger look like. So we of course Texas.
You can't even get that at Trill Burger either.
No, hell no.
No.
You get that at Trill Burger. You spending $400 for the burger.
Hold up. I know North Carolina ain't over here talking about
Hey,
H-Town. You better not be talking about
mm,
Bun.
hey, look, like DJ Wallace said, he had the Texans 35-13.
See, I got you. See, he
Um,
with
so let me say this because I want to share the screen. We're gonna do a little quick. When I emphasize quick,
me. You
round.
many men should understand this.
Goddamn Swan. Swan say Swan. What's this song? All night long, all night, all night long, all
You see it
night.
real quick. I'm just saying,
But let's go with it. You already see it right here. The 49ers beat the Seahawks. Both of them are 3-3. That's crazy. But let's go through the slate. We got Jags and Bears. Who y'all got?
They're in
Yes.
London, for those who are not aware.
Yep, that's a Sunday
So I'm
morning game.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
so
Swan.
okay, so y'all we picking Jags on?
Unfortunately, I'm gonna pick them only because they're in London.
Mike?
Yeah, I got the London Jaguars pulling it out in a close one.
I got Caleb Williams trying to cement that AFC NFL Rookie of the Year.
He lost that.
He's got a
He
lot of
lost that. Yeah, he lost that.
gain, a lot of ground to gain.
Jalen got that one.
Speaking of that, speaking of NFL Rookie of the Year, got Jaden Daniels and the Commanders who formed one against the Ravens. What you got?
Yeah, the Commanders are 7-point underdogs. I think they cover, but I think the Ravens pull away in the first half.
I got an
And
upset.
oh, okay.
Hmm
Yeah, that means the Ravens gonna win. That's the upset if you want to look at the record.
I got the Commanders pulling out an upset. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So you got the Commanders going at 5-1. Then we got the Cardinals and Packers.
I think the Cardinals will make it close, but the Packers will pull it out in the end.
Yeah, once again, Arizona will look pretty strong in the first half, but Green Bay pulls away in the second half.
Telling you this right now. What's the head coach over there in Arizona? What's his name?
Oh, you talking about James Murray from Impractical Jokers? Jonathan Gannon?
Jonathan Gannon.
Yes.
Jonathan Gannon wins this game for the Cardinals. They're going to be 3-3.
Okay.
Shock the world, people. We already talked about Texans and Patriots. Buccaneers and Saints. There no Derek Carr.
This
No
Mr.
chance.
Rattler. It's gonna be Mr. Rattler getting his debut.
You know what?
I got the Saints.
They playing in New Orleans too.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that don't mean ain't that easy to play in.
What you got?
Yeah, as much as I want to see my Saints stacks hold up in best ball with Rattler, I mean, can't be worse than Hayner. I got the Bucks on the road. Baker continues his strong season.
Okay.
I see Spencer Rattler shocking the world.
Yep.
This win.
He's capable. He was a mixed bag in college.
Hey, remember, if people don't remember, people thought that Spencer Rattler was gonna be the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, they told us to wait.
Yeah, they told us to wait.
I'm sorry, I'm having flashbacks. My bad.
Browns and Eagles. Who Lordy?
Oh Lord, we ain't gotta say that. Yeah, Eagles.
Mike.
Yeah, the Philly puts the nail in the coffin on Cleveland's season.
Yeah, I think they start selling assets after this game. I got the Eagles winning. Eagles coming off a bye too with Saquon and all them. Yeah, they'll pull that out. Colts and Titans division.
It's Colts. You know, I'll never go for no goddamn ragged ass Titans.
Mike, what you got?
I think with Anthony Richardson, Michael Pittman Jr., and Josh Downs coming back, I think the Colts pull it off. But it'll be a really close game.
I got the Colts eking that out. Titans and Jaguars continue to be cellar dwellers in the AFC and AFC South. You got Steelers and Raiders.
Oh, you missing one. Did we just do that?
Oh yeah, no, I did. My bad. Chargers, Broncos.
I mean, did you really though?
No, his thing is the Broncos defense, which is strangely surprising, is just dominating.
That defense been good for like the last 5 years. So
No, okay.
That defense been good.
No, that I am saying is this year, that defense, Looking kind of nasty. P2S is
You
looking
got
like
you
P2S
got
again
khaki
this year.
pants. You got khaki pants or headset.
I'm gonna go headset.
All right. So
Man, that feels
you got
nasty.
Mike. Who you got?
I think the bye week helps the Chargers, but I think the Broncos pull it off last second field goal.
Okay.
Ugly game.
Yeah, it's an ugly game. I got the Chargers winning that game. I look at the quarterback. Who has the better quarterback? Pittsburgh and Raiders.
This is
Boy,
tricky with the Devontae Adams situation, but I'm gonna go Raiders home.
Mike.
yeah, the Steelers are exactly the type of team that has these weird letdown games, and the Raiders are exactly the type of team that has these weird. I'm gonna go with it despite having no weapons. I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Hideous game, 13-10.
Brock Bowers has a career game against the Steelers. Raiders win. Falcons, Panthers. I mean, it's Falcons. Come on now.
It's a divisional
Divisional road
game.
game.
We know how they go.
Who playing quarterback? Because they brought Bryce in the game.
I understand it's Andy Dalton. The thing is that the Falcons are coming off such a great game 10 days ago. I can see that being a letdown game. I'm gonna go Panthers. You know what? I'm just gonna go.
Hold on, Brandon. Let me go back to the chat. Brandon said the Colts and Titans are gonna tie 0-0.
Hey, I'll take that too.
But here we go. I got the Falcons.
Okay.
Mike, you said the Falcons or the Panthers?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Atlanta pulls it off.
All right. Kirko goes crazy. Cowboys, Lions. Come on.
Dallas has not won a home game, and both their home games have been blown out. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, I'm just so upset about that. The fact that Dallas hadn't won a home game. I think it's gonna be a really good game.
Is it?
I do, or at least for a half.
Okay.
I think Detroit pulls away, and keep in mind, I mentioned this before. Chris Long pointed this out. The teams that played Detroit the week before, they do absolutely terrible the following week. So whoever Dallas is playing next week, pick against them. But Detroit wins here.
All right, we got Bengals and Giants. Oh man, this game look nasty.
I got the Giants.
Oh,
yes, I do. Even though Neighbors is out, the problem is that the Bengals do not have a defense, and you're on the road.
Danny Dimes. What you got, Mike? What you got?
Cincy by 2 touchdowns.
Ooh. Okay.
I think this is the spot where Cincy finally starts to get its rhythm.
Can I give you another stat?
Hang on, just saying. Let me finish.
Does not do very well on prime time.
But yeah, and I think the Giants win last week is a little bit of a mirage because they were playing Seattle, who had just played Detroit. So
hey, let me say this: Brandon said everybody losing watching this Sunday night game. But then you got Monday Night Football, Bills and Jets.
Let's see, you just fired your head coach.
You know that's a win for the Jets, man. It's a win for the Jets.
And the Bills have lost 2 in a row,
and they playing in New York. And they playing in New York.
I understand that, but I got the Bills Monday night. Josh Allen got to redeem himself.
Killer Cal say Karen Rodgers pull it off. Karen Rodgers pull it off.
No, Lord.
No, not can he. He's saying Karen.
Right.
Karen.
Oh, gotcha. Cute. No, I got the Bills.
I mean, Karens don't take ayahuasca though. Like, I think that's going to be a really good game. But I got a Bills fan here who's also a diehard Sabres fan. The Sabres are in the gutter right now. Last thing I need is the Bills also just completely crumbling. I think it's going to be a close game, but Buffalo pulls it off.
So this is I got the Jets. He said the Giants haven't scored a TD at home yet this season.
That's no Malik Neighbors?
No Malik Neighbors, hey.
I understand what you're saying.
So That's something we're gonna start doing every week, so everybody can join in. We got a lot of fantasy football players out there.
After they go fix your lineups.
Yeah, Tank Dell, I've got him in over 80 leagues. He's got to put it together.
Finally, he's gonna pay off for me this
Hold on,
week.
this is how bad one of my leagues is. I got Tank and Steph as my 2 starting receivers.
Well, hey, that's better than having Ayuk and Tank.
Yeah, Ayuk.
Ayuk had one last week, broke out. I was like, oh, okay, finally, that 30 million we're paying him.
And then it's the Debo breakout game.
5.7 last night.
Hey, but we will see, man. But this has been another great episode of the H-Town Rundown, and we will see y'all on Victory Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Where we do the all 22, and we'll figure out the rest of that week. We'll figure that out. We'll let y'all know. But join us Tuesday night for sure as we review the all 22, and we will see y'all. But shout out to my co-hosts Auntie Swan and Mike G. It's been another great episode. Thank everybody in the chat. We got Christianity, we got Brandon, Killer Cal, DJ Waller, Frank Z, Big B, Yvonne, of course, King Foka. You know our standards. Shout out to Killer Cal. You be safe as well, brother. Yep. And we will see y'all on Tuesday. Peace.
Out.